Have you guys found yourselves getting more easily distracted during these times?
I'm always easily distracted.
What do you mean distracted? Distracted from what?
Yeah, distracted from what?
From work.
Oh, like not being productive?
It's like you're constantly just getting distracted. Like it's like all of a sudden now you have more ADD or something, and like you can't really get your shit done. You might be feeling extra anxious because of the.
I'm more relaxed.
The way that the world is right now, it's causing a lot of people to suffer from anxiety.
I feel like we're on vacation all the time right now. Like for the past month, we've been on a vacation, and so yes, I have been more ADD. And,
Like a staycation, huh?
yeah, like a staycation. So I'm like, it doesn't matter. Does it matter if I work today or not? Because we're just gonna go right back to doing the same thing every day.
I think I'm like really hyper focused actually.
Yeah.
Me too.
I feel like I'm working more than I did before.
Yeah. What are you doing, Steve?
He's really hyper focused on that.
I'm hyper focused on that.
He's very focused.
How about you, Nelson?
I don't think anything's changed for me.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and I think it's because our lives and the way that we work is already similar to quarantine style life.
Like no one's ever had to tell me when to work, how to work, blah blah blah. Like that's always been up to me. So now that this quarantine has happened, it's the same for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
If I don't work, I don't make money.
Coming into film together, there's no real schedule. We have to figure when we do the meetings, you know, all that other stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you guys, but apparently a lot of people who like usually have their 9 to 5, now all of a sudden they're having to have that drastic shift from working in an office to working at home, and a lot of people are just have like heightened anxiety because of it. So there's like 3 tips here to help get you like less distracted and more focused on your work. So like for example is have a designated area in your house to work. And like just have that one corner in your place and that's dedicated for work.
Don't work on your bed.
Yeah.
And clean it. Clean that area out too, because it makes you feel better when you're sitting there.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also they have this. So the second thing is to give yourself time to have a break. Allow yourself to have that time of distraction or to have that time of like meditation or mindfulness for you to like get centered. So there's this technique where you're 25 minutes on and then 5 minutes off. And so that's like how you can maybe get more productive, where you're actually designating yourself a break, like time for a break, and not just constantly, because a lot of people what they end up doing now, since they're not used to working from home, is they'll slowly jump into the work day, like pretty much like at a snail speed, and it's just like, oh, okay, fine, I guess I'll do something here, a little bit of this, and then like something will pop up, a notification on your phone, and then you spend hours on that, and then you kind of like trickle back into work, and then you end up working really, really late into the night because you're like, well, I don't have anything else to do, and then it just really fucks with your mind, and you end up getting larger amounts of stress because of it.
I'm bumping up against that a little bit only because I've read some studies and just my own personal experience where start working actually takes longer for people because it takes them longer to get back into workflow mode once they stop.
Once they took a little break.
Exactly.
How it is for me.
So for me, yeah.
You gotta binge
I gotta binge work. I have to. Like, so, you know, we'll be on a script for like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, because that is how I get the most productive. And then when I stop, I can really stop and actually reward myself for working.
Yeah, maybe this is kind of like a if it works for you type of thing.
Totally.
Yeah, because for me personally, I feel like I definitely need my breaks. Like I can like get zoned in for like an hour or 2, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm like depleted of energy. Like I need to fucking take a break. I need to have lunch or some shit. Like move away from this and then like refresh myself and then jump
Depends
back
on what
in.
I'm doing. If I'm doing work that I just don't like, then I need a break. Like even like every like 15 minutes, I'll be like, oh, I just need to step away from this right now, just to like step away from the dread, I guess.
Yeah.
Like when you're watching a movie with your girlfriend.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. For me, my ADD is so strong that like I can get lost in anything and spend a stupid amount of time in everything. So like usually before I start my work day or whatever, I'll write all the tasks down that I'm gonna do, like the list, and also the time. So like let's say cancel flight on through whatever, right? I know I shouldn't be over on the phone for over 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Like every single item or errand that I have to do.
How do you calculate that?
Because you've done it, like you've done so many things amount of time. Like if someone goes, hey, can you get this from the library? You could kind of like guesstimate like just a rough amount of time how it's.
Do you gain that data because in the past when you have done that task, you have timed yourself? You're like, oh, this is how long it takes me.
No, just kind of like a mental gauge. Like, if I don't give myself a time limit, I could be in the grocery store for 6 hours, and I'm just getting there.
I know what that's like.
Right. So instead of being lost into whatever I'm doing, I have to like if I do need to get fucking portobello mushrooms, all right, okay, like 10 minutes. So I know this is how much time, or else I can get lost doing anything.
So you are the way you are because you can be horrible at it. I get it.
Yeah. Because I could just dive into like the rabbit hole and never come out, and then I come out and I'm like, oh shit, I only did one of the things I wanted to do today. And then that thing was the stupidest thing. It wasn't even like a priority.
Yeah.
I've never been able to guess the amount of time I would be on the phone with customer service.
Ever.
Like I'm always like,
if I wrote down like let's say 5 minutes,
2 hours later.
Yeah, if I wrote down like let's say my experience was like 5 or 10 minutes. As soon as it gets to 10 minutes, I just hang up. I don't try to pursue it until I reach a resolve. Then I go, okay, what's my second avenue? I'll email them, and then maybe I'll DM them on Twitter or something like
It
that.
shouldn't be called customer service. It should be called customer fucking.
It is.
Just be honest about what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I have that bad gambler's mentality where I'm like, I have committed this much time to it. I've been on the phone for 30 minutes. What's another 10 minutes? And then 2 hours in, you're like, fuck, I fucked up.
Investment, it's called something like investment something. Like
Yeah.
when you've invested already so much into it.
You know
If I
what?
don't finish it,
Some
I
cost
get
fallacy.
pissed. Because I'll think about it for days until it's done.
True.
But also, I started to keep a note of all the things of what to do. Like, I gotta get my real ID or whatever. And sometimes things will pop in my head when I'm like washing the dishes or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to do that one thing. I'll do it later. If I don't write that shit down, I'm gonna think about it in a week later and go, oh, I had to clip my nails. Or like I had to do this other thing.
Oh my god, me too, I do.
Yeah. So if I say that in my head, I'm like, shit, I run to my laptop and I write it in my list. And then every week I look at the most important things to do and then the tasks and all that, and it's a fucking mountain of shit.
I heavily use my reminders app on the iPhone. I use that so much.
I love it. I love alerts and alarms and shit on my phone. It's the shit.
Oh, for me, it works the opposite. If I have an alarm, I don't know why, but my brain is wired this way. I need to ignore it.
I can't believe you're a successful mother.
Let me schedule all this shit to ignore it.
You should be patient zero of like having the worst kid and the worst and
know.
everything, and somehow you made it all work.
It's weird though. It's like anything to do with Isaac, she's like amazing at.
Thanks.
And then anything that has to do with herself, it's like, man,
That's like my mom.
Look, this is the way I have been able to survive in this world is because whenever someone else is on the line, like if I'm gonna be disappointing someone else, I can't have that. So I have to do the thing.
You could disappoint
But it is
yourself
for me.
all day.
For some reason,
Shit.
I'll be like, oh, it's not that important.
You're a supporter.
I feel like
You should just put Isaac in the things that you've been wanting, like sign Isaac up for yoga classes and running classes, getting his hair dyed, and then that way.
You live through him. He's your Sims.
Tiff, you don't. I want to say this in earnest. You don't deserve disappointment. Seriously.
that's very sweet.
No, because that's what we do to ourselves. I've done that to myself too a lot.
What does that mean? You don't deserve.
So we do that to ourselves where it's like the person who should be punished is me. I will take care of everyone around me. I won't take care of myself as much. But you don't deserve disappointment, and I don't either. And that happened to me for a couple years where I was doing that to myself. So
That's true.
I'll give you a little bit of me. How dare you disappoint me, you son of a bitch?
there you go.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess like during this whole quarantine thing though, I did like shift it a bit because, well, I actually no. If you boil it down, not really. But
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But because of the like, I've been focusing and putting like all my energy into creating a nice home for us to live in. And I was gonna say that was selfish, but not really because they live there too.
Yeah.
But that's great. That's something for you too.
Yeah, because you take joy in that. Like, I remember when you helped me design my room and all that. That was really fun, even though it was for me, but it was like a project that you enjoyed. So it is for you, ultimately, too.
Or what if you tape like 5-pound dumbbells to all the paintbrushes? So that way when you're painting the house, you'll also get your workout in.
That's something Bart would come up with. That's genius.
That is pretty genius. It's like,
She's always trying to find a way to work out.
And then your painting's all fucked up because you're like, hey, I got a sick workout.
damn.
Like, I mostly painted at the bottom half of this thing.
My arm just got tired.
Well, yeah, it looks good.
Just half of the wall.
Up here is like, I don't know, I did a sun, but it's heavy.
Do you know, a fucking rat ran right in front of my face when I was working out in the garage the other day.
What? It just went.
I was doing like a fucking shoulder press, and I look over, and this little fucking mouse runs from outside of my driveway inside, right in front of me, crosses me, and I'm like, why the fuck are you coming in here?
Did you get it out?
No, well, I chased his ass, and he went behind my boxes, and I'm like, fuck, I can't get him now.
So you have a mouse.
There's a little mouse in my garage.
My dog keeps bringing in dead rats right now. I don't know why. He just started doing this.
Well, at least they're dead. He was like, the worst thing would be to have like a mama rat come in and then like give birth, to like a whole bunch of little rats.
I love that we're all talking about our feelings, and then
I know.
And this opened with "Don't get distracted," and then Joe's like, "I saw a mouse."
I was staying. Okay, Bart's dumbbell
Best.
reference made me
It's
think
the
of
best.
working out, all right?
I know you got
So
distracted.
the
That's what I'm-
reference, it
This is
still
perfect.
works.
People, this show is so underrated. That's
Hey,
funny.
It was linear thinking in my
It wasn't
brain.
planned. Nobody wrote any of this shit down beforehand. It was perfect.
There we go.
I love it.
There is a meaning to my chaos, though, when people go, hey, man, that's out of the blue. And I'm like, is it? Is
Yeah, it was.
You have to connect the dots for us.
it? Well, there you go.
You did.
Dumbbells.
We got it.
Working out.
It's very nice.
Mouse in front of me while I was working out.
I wouldn't change it for the world.